Hi, I'm Tyler Hull, and this is my presentation for security and privacy for at-risk populations based on digital literacy. With the ever-increasing importance of the internet and the rise in LLMs and generative AI, ensuring a base level of common sense or digital literacy may be more important than ever. Individuals online face many risks associated with online security and privacy. Older individuals, defined herein for the study as those aged 40 plus, have spent much of their lives without experience with computer-based technologies, and thus it was hypothesized for this study that they, one, would have lower digital literacy scores and less experience with DLEs, and two, would score lower on a risk assessment questionnaire regarding online scamming and abuse risks. The study is being approached from a quantitative standpoint, though some of the data being collected quantitatively is self-reported. Much of the self-reported quantitative data is based on the participants' perceived digital literacy, while the information regarding their ability to avoid risk is evaluated more objectively. The study was administered through a two-part Google form questionnaire. The first question involved self-reporting digital literacy questions, while the second section resembled a quiz with questions with correct and incorrect possible answers to simulate how much risk a survey participant may face online from common scamming and abuse practices. As a shortened version of my hypotheses for this study, Hypothesis 1, alternate, says that participants with more extensive digital literacy backgrounds would be better able to recognize and avoid common digital scamming and abuse techniques. The second alternative hypothesis says that participants belonging to older age groups, 40 plus, have significantly worse digital literacy skills. After filtering out the respondents who did not meet the criteria to have the data used, aka those under 18 or who failed one of the attention check dummy questions designed to filter out spam responses, the study was left with 23 participants of age 40 plus and 10 participants of ages below 40. There was no significant difference in self-reported understanding of digital literacy before the definition was given, nor after the definition was given. There was no significant difference in reported previous digital literacy education experience, and there was no significant difference in reported understanding of and ability to avoid common online scamming techniques. However, the 40 plus group did report a significantly higher number of online risk related terms known about. That is a question regarding how many of these terms they may have heard of and know something about. And the 40 plus group surprisingly did significantly better at the risk questionnaire section of the survey with a p value of 0.027, very significant. As we can see on the graph over on the right, the average score for ages 40 plus was around 60%, and for ages 18 to 39, it was only a bit above 40%. There was no significant correlation, though, between reported digital literacy and score on the risk questionnaire, with a p-value of near 1. General takeaways. Both of my experiment alternative hypotheses were proven incorrect in the context of this study. For each one, there was no significant observed correlation between participants' reported digital literacy scores and their ability to recognize and avoid common online scamming and abuse techniques. Thus, we failed to reject the null hypothesis. For H2, there was no significant difference in self-reported digital literacy understanding between age groups. Thus, we also failed to reject that null hypothesis. So why this result? Well, I believe that these unexpected results are likely due to a variety of factors, such as the recruiting methodology used. Snowball recruiting was used for a notable number of participants, which gives concerns as to the validity of the data when compared to a generalizable random population sample. Though some safeguards were put into place to try to remove spam responses, there are certain other factors that could not be avoided with this sort of methodology of recruiting. In addition, the number of individuals in the age group below 40 years old after removing the ineligible participants, which was a significant amount of these, it was lower than expected for the study, and the study may lack some statistical power because of this. As a final takeaway, this study's results, despite any complications, may very well still be a valid representation of real trends. If the study was redone with a larger, more probabilistic sample for both groups, it may reveal different insights or affirm the study's validity. Thank you.